Hey guys, Blade Master here again, and you're watching the Wolf of Freeman Total War YouTube channel. And last time I showed you the video between Liny and Pirro, and this is the second match played between them. And let's see if Pirro gets some revenge. In this one, Pirro is playing as Rome, and Liny is going as Carthage. And let's slow this down. They're going pretty aggressive at the beginning. So, anyways, let's go take a look at their builds. Pirro's got four auxiliary Syrian archers, and he's got four Saki Extraordinary or Socii Extraordinary. I'm not sure. Um, so these are basically Pirro's favorite mid-tier units from the Romans to bring, and we'll see how well they work. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them, just because I think they have very low melee attack for a Roman unit. Anyways, he's got two gladiator spearmen as well, and he's got a Praetorian cav and an auxiliary cav on his left, and he's got an auxiliary cav and a Syrian elephant, or yeah, African elephant, on his right, and he's got a Legatus general and two Numidian cavalry. Now, Liny's brought a pretty unorthodox build again. He's got a mercenary companion cav, a Numidian noble cav, and a Carthaginian cav on his right. He's got an infantry body of four late Carthaginian hoplites, and he's got two Libyan peltas. On his right, he's got the same mercenary companion, a Numidian noble, and a Carthaginian cav. And finally, he's got an African war elephant general and a Carthaginian cav. So, no swords, which is very unorthodox, but he's got a lot of killing power in his cavalry. This is a pretty unorthodox unit to get, the Numidian noble cavalry. I would love to use them, but it's just that it's very hard to use them properly, in my opinion. And it's a lot of money that you're going to spend on a javelin cavalry unit. So high risk, maybe high reward. They do have a lot of melee attack and weapon damage, but they have very low melee defense and low armor. So if the thing is with skirmish AI, they will most likely move back, and then there's a good chance that they might get caught. And if they do get caught, they don't have the melee defense to hold out on a rear attack by any decent cavalry unit. But they're still very good. They have quick reload. Yep, they have quick reload, and they're perfect for killing off skirmishers very quickly, and maybe even getting a rear charge into sword units late game. But yeah, that's what I would leave them to, late game rear charges, and I think that's what they'd be best used for. So now Pirro's being very aggressive with his Numidian cavalry, and he's trying to exploit this gap that was presented, and he manages to get one of his Numidian cav behind his lines, which could be pretty useful if he manages to get some flaming shots on his war elephant. But meanwhile, uh, Liny gets a great charge on his auxiliary Syrian archers, who could be very useful. So his Numidian cavalry got a nice charge on his auxiliary Syrian archers, and he's managed to corner one of his auxiliary cavalry with a mercenary companion and Numidian noble cavalry. And that's probably a great use of his Numidian nobles, but maybe a better one would be to just use flaming shot on these guys. He's engaged his Numidian nobles with his Praetorian cav, and just holding them in place. They're doing surprisingly very well. Oh, that's probably because they've got support from Libyan peltas. But now there's infantry engagement between the Saki Extraordinary and the late Carthaginian hoplites, and let's put this back and let's try and get some action shots. Hollywood the Sun. It doesn't really look very good. There's a bit of glitching, I guess. But coming back to the point, the auxiliary elephants get a great charge on the Saki Extraordinary. But here's where their armor would probably be very useful, because they're just soaking up the charge, and they've got increased mass. I feel, because of their really high armor. So maybe they're just acting like tanks, like Samnites, and just stopping these elephants. They don't get a great charge. They don't, ideally it would just like run through everyone, but it doesn't. And meanwhile, the Syrian archers get great shots on it. As you can see, they've already dropped, and now they're, impetuous. It's not looking good for his general. Always a risk getting an African war elephant general. This Praetorian cav is doing really well. The Numidian cav is now dropping down. Yeah, they're almost as expensive as Praetorian cav, and they're just not that worth it. But this Numidian noble cav is doing very well, because it's used flaming shot on his Syrian elephants and basically taken them out of the game. But these, late Carthaginian hoplites, especially not in hoplite wall, are not going to last very long. He does manage to catch his general, which is a big swing in Liny's favor. But his general, I believe, is probably dead. Yeah, his general's dead now for sure. Maybe Pirro's general is still alive. I mean, it's still half strength, so there's a good chance they are. The Saki Extraordinary have done really well, but that's to be expected because they were faced with Carthaginian hoplites, so they would win against them any day of the week. He does manage to get one of his Numidian cav into the archer into the peltas, and while these guys are very strong, they've got they've pinned them down so the Saki Extraordinary can come and help. The uh, the left flank was mopped up with the Campanian and the Carthaginian, and these Numidian noble cav, while they do have one chevron, maybe from just killing those Praetorians, they're still not going to make much of an impact now. The other Numidian noble cav did much better, and they've attacked the Syrian archers in the rear, and those guys are about to die. But gladiator spearmen are coming, and that's not going to go very well for Liny. At this point, it doesn't really look very good for Liny because, as you can see, there's a Syrian, there's a African elephant ready to wreak havoc on whatever few units are there, and these companies are not going to stop them. 30 and they've done 30 units left, and they've done a lot of damage, but they're definitely low on HP, and they're not going to stand up to an elephant in any case. So they do stop them, but they're going to rout very quickly. These Carthaginian cav are about to attack these, and they have attacked them in the rear. But with their high armor and their high health, these guys are really like just acting like amazing tanks. Rear charges, and they haven't dropped many men, and the fewer the men that are dropped quickly, the lower the morale shock there is. So they're still attacking the Carthaginian hoplites, and these guys are not going to last very long. Libyan peltas did very well. I think they're one of the best peltas or best skirmishes that you can get for their price. Well, the Getae and the those barbarian peltas, some of them are much better, but I mean these guys are very very good for a civilized faction. But this game looks pretty much in Pirro's hands because he's got the elephant with him. The last Numidian noble cav is about to attack these guys in the rear, but it's not going to do much damage. And it's basically done, so Pirro's got his revenge. We can definitely say that. Both of them took pretty weird builds from a traditional standpoint. You don't see many Saki Extraordinary, and you don't see many Numidian noble cavs. But definitely the Saki Extraordinary did very very well, and I would definitely have to take a look at them in the future to maybe consider using them in future builds. I think they might do very well against Odrysian kingdoms builds because they have high armor, so that could just make them be less susceptible to Thracian warriors and maybe even Thracian nobles. And as you can see, I mean they've done very well. Granted, it was against hoplites again, but there were many instances where they got rear charged and they just managed to hold out for a long time. In general, I would probably say that the Saki Extraordinary won it for him. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe for some more battles. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.